Hi, ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook with Chart Engineering Pro. We really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video, and we do not take you for granted at all. If you haven't yet subscribed or you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content we post here. And if you also find value with what we share here, be sure to like, drop your comment, share your views, and share this video to your fellow traders or anyone who would find this information useful. Without wasting much time, let's have a quick recap of last week's setups discussed in our previous video before we dive into next week's analysis. So we have here FTSE 100 or UK 100. We're looking forward to a C-leg formation for this potential deep cap pattern, and we had a double bottom here, and we're fortunate to get an entry to get a buy to complete this deep cap pattern. So on to next week, we'll be looking forward to a retest of this area of interest. We're looking forward to a retest at the entry where we had our entry. We're looking forward to a retest to add another position to continue the buy to complete this potential deep cap pattern on the 4-hour time frame. We have here silver. As of last week, we were expecting price to retest any of these two areas of interest to continue the buy to the upside, but unfortunately, price never pulled back to our area of interest for us to capitalize on the buy move, and price just took off to the TP we anticipated, the first TP we anticipated. So for the coming week, I think we will continue looking for buys to the upside and for silver. We have here CADJPY, and CADJPY, we're also expecting price to pull back to this area of interest, or the second one as well. If price had pulled back into any of these areas, we would have for buying opportunities to the upside, but price never made its way to the area of interest, and it kept going up. So for the coming week, if we are fortunate for price to pull back to this area of interest, we will look forward to take our buys to the upside. So we missed out, or we couldn't capitalize on this trade from last week. We also have here EURNZD, and for EURNZD, we're also expecting price to pull back to any of these two areas of interest to give us a buying opportunity. But unfortunately, price never pulled back to the areas of interest for us to capitalize on the trade, so we actually missed out on it. For the coming week, if we are fortunate for price to pull back to this structural high and give us any buying confirmations, we'll be looking forward to take our buys from here. Or should price pull back to this area of interest again and give us buying opportunities, we'll still look forward to buying opportunities to the upside. So let's have a quick view of the economic calendar for the coming week. It's an NFP week, so let's be on the lookout on Friday. Monday, we don't have any high impact news. On Tuesday, we have the manufacturing PMI for the Chinese yen, and on the same Tuesday, there's a cash rate for Australian dollar. And this economic news is very, very volatile, so let's be on the lookout for that, the release of that news. And then on the same day, we have a Canadian bank holiday, and US job openings on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have the bank holiday for the Chinese yen. I think there's a holiday which is running through Wednesday to Friday for the Chinese yen. So there's a bank holiday for the Chinese yen, and later on Wednesday we're going to have the ADP non-farm employment change and ISM manufacturing PMI for the USD. On Thursday, the Chinese holiday continues, and then we have a CHF CPI on Thursday morning, and USD unemployment claims in the afternoon. On Friday, which is the NFP day, we will have the Bank of Japan's governor speaking at dawn or at the Asian session, and we have a bank holiday for the German bank holiday, which is also going to affect the euro. And then later in the day, we have the NFP, and then at the latter part of the day, we also have the Bank of England's governor also speaking, and then also we have the ISM services PMI. Let's jump into the charts and see what we have for the coming week. We have here DXY, and DXY currently has shifted bullish on a daily perspective, even though it's still bearish on a weekly and a monthly perspective. Price has actually shifted bullish now on a daily perspective, and we seem to have an equal low here, which looks like a possible truncation of this fifth wave, which we're expecting to come or to happen. So this one looks like a truncation of the fifth wave, which we're expecting to come. And so going forward, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest. Look for buying opportunities and take our buys from here to the upside and continue the buys. So for the coming week, we are bullish for DXY, and this can only be changed, or this one can shift bearish if price breaks this zone and comes for a retest and then continues downside. Then we have shifted bearish, but until then we are very bullish on the DXY for the coming week. And also, if you want to see or have the full long-term view of DXY, you can make reference to our episode 1 or episode and episode 3 video, which we shared in our previous episodes, and I'll drop the link in the video, in this video's description, to episode 1 and episode 3, so you can go and have a full lookout, or the long-term view of what we are expecting of DXY for the coming months or weeks and months, or maybe probably a year. So I'll drop the links in the description box, or you find these videos at the end of this video as well, so you can make reference to them. You can just go straight to the time stamps and then you go straight to DXY, and you can have a quick view of what we are expecting in the coming months for DXY. We have here the Japanese yen index, which is now extremely bearish. It is bearish on a weekly perspective, bearish on a daily perspective. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest and look for selling opportunities to the downside. We're having this price point as our TP1, and then our TP2 will be here, and our TP3, which is a long-term view. We're looking forward to see the Japanese yen index drop to clear this low we have here. So we have here Euro USD. So just as we saw on DXY, so for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback into this area of interest. Look for selling opportunities and target this first zone as our first target. Then our second target is going to be the zone we have below for Euro USD. Euro USD will shift bullish if price breaks above this zone and gives us a retest and continues to the upside. That way we'll consider Euro USD bullish. But until then, we are very bearish on Euro USD for the coming week, and on most of the USD pairs we are trading in favor of the dollar, as in the strength of the dollar. So we have GBPUSD. So GBPUSD, we will be looking forward to a pullback into this area of interest, this first area of interest, and look for selling opportunities to the downside, or we look forward to a pullback to the second area of interest. And then if we get this formation, we will likely see, or GBPUSD will likely form a head and shoulder formation. So we currently have our left shoulder, we have our head, and we'll be looking forward to a possible right shoulder somewhere here, and then look for selling opportunities to continue the head and shoulder formation for GBPUSD. So let's be on the lookout for this pullback, and actually it's one of my favorites for the coming week. Look forward to this pullback to this area of interest and look for selling opportunities to the downside. So we are very bearish on GBPUSD. It can only be shift bullish or considered bullish if price is able to break above this zone, get a retest and continue. But until then, if price is able to break above this zone, come for a retest and continue, then GBPUSD will be bullish. But until then, we are very bearish on GBPUSD. We have here USDCHF, and for USDCHF, we will also be looking forward to a possible pullback to this area of interest to get buying opportunities to the upside. If price breaks above and comes for another retest, we'll look forward to the buy continuation to the upside. if you look critically at it, the price is actually forming something like an inverse head and shoulder, and this is our left shoulder, this is the head, this is the more like the right shoulder we have here, so price is actually coming back for a retest, then we continue the buys to the upside. So USDCHF will be considered bearish if it breaks below this zone, comes for a retest, and continues to the downside. So until then, I'm very bullish on USDCHF for the coming week. We have here USDCAD, and USDCAD is also extremely bullish now, and we're looking forward to a possible pullback into this area of interest for the coming week. You look for buying opportunities and continue the buys to the upside. And when price breaks this structural high, this weekly structural high, we'll have something like an inverse head and shoulder, a very huge inverse head and shoulder, which might possibly give us a nice harmonic pattern formation. So we'll look forward to those formations later on. So this is more like the left shoulder, this will be the head, and this area will be like the right shoulder. Then we get a continuation to the upside. So we're looking forward to more bullishness for USDCAD for the coming weeks. We have here NZDUSD. So for NZDUSD, we are also very bearish on NZDUSD. So we're looking forward to a pullback into this first zone before selling opportunities to the downside. And we're going to target this first zone as our first target, but the second zone here is going to be our second target. Or should price pull back to this second area of interest above, we will still look for the selling opportunities to the downside. This can only shift bearish, or sorry, this can only shift bullish if price breaks above the zone and continues to the upside. Until then, we are very, very, very bearish on NZDUSD. We have here USDJPY. So for USDJPY on a higher time frame, we actually have a possible butterfly pattern forming on a daily time frame, which means we have a long way to go to the upside for the completion of this pattern. So this is our X, this is our A, this is our B, this is our C leg, and this will be our D leg. So we are looking forward for price to continue buying, or henceforth we just be looking for buying opportunities to the upside. So we look forward to a pullback to this area of interest we have here. We're looking forward to see a pullback into this area of interest, and then we look for buying opportunities to the upside. And price is going to be a very, very, very bullish. As we can see, dollar is gaining momentum to be bullish, and then the Japanese yen is also very, very bearish. So to be very wise to be trading in favor of the dollar and against the Japanese yen if you are trading any Japanese yen pair. So we look forward to buying opportunities in this zone, continue to the upside, take our profits here for the short term, and then we'll later look forward to other buying opportunities to the upside for USDJPY. We have here CADJPY. We had it set up from last week, and we actually had a break above this zone, but the break was not too strong. Yeah, we're expecting price to break above this zone and get us a retest and buy to the upside, but the break wasn't too strong. But for the coming week, if we are able to get a reversal pattern within this zone on a lower time frames, we can take advantage of a first entry around here, or we would wait for a clear daily break above the zone, wait for a retest, and continue the buys to the upside. And we're going to have this place as our target for CADJPY buys. It will only shift bearish if price breaks below and then sells to the downside. We have here AUDJPY. So for AUDJPY is developing a potential harmonic pattern on a 1 hour time frame. So for the coming week, this is a potential butterfly pattern. So this is our X. We have our X. We have our A. We have our B. We're looking forward to a possible C leg formation, and we get buying opportunities to complete this butterfly pattern next week. Looking at the price action here, price might just give us a double bottom or a reversal pattern where it currently is, and then take the buys to the upside, or it might retrace a bit deeper into this zone, and then we can get our clear reversal patterns or buying confirmations to buy to complete this butterfly pattern on the 1 hour time frame. And so this is AUDJPY. We have here GBPNZD. So for GBPNZD, as last week, we were expecting price to pull back to this very zone below. We're expecting price to give us a C-leg formation to pull back to this zone and then give us buying opportunities, but it didn't pull back that deep. And the butterfly pattern that we were expecting is still valid, just that our C-leg was very shallow, and it still fulfills, I mean, the retracement still fulfills the metrics that makes it possible to be a butterfly pattern. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a very first pullback into this first zone, get buying opportunities and complete this butterfly pattern. Or should price pull back all the way to the second zone that we were expecting, I would say we should just ignore. If price pulls back to the second zone, we might just ignore this move altogether. But then if it doesn't pull back to this zone and it pulls back to the first zone, we will still be interested in taking the buys to complete this butterfly pattern. So let me give clarity to this pattern that is developing. So this is X, this is our A, this is our B, this is our C, and a possible D leg that we'll be expecting. So that's the pattern that we are looking out for GBPNZD. We have here AUDCHF. We're looking at this setup from last week, and we're expecting price to give us some reversal patterns within this area of interest so that we can get buying confirmations to the upside. Price kept playing around, so for the coming week, we'll still be looking forward to that reversal pattern formation. So if price is able to break above this 4-hour structural high, if price is able to close, if we're able to get a candle to close above this 4-hour structural high, and we get a pullback, we look forward to buying opportunities to the upside. Or should any daily candle close above this zone or this line we have here, we get a daily candle closing above and retracing back, we can still look for buying opportunities to the upside. Alternatively, we can also wait for price to clear this zone, break out of this zone entirely, then we look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside. This can only shift bearish if we keep getting this bearish momentum to the downside. Price keeps breaking down and then comes for a retest and continues to the downside. But I'm very bullish on AUDCHF for the coming week. Sorry, let me just show the targets for AUDCHF. Yes, so AUDCHF, we are looking forward to a potential cipher or shark pattern. So these are various targets that we're looking forward to for the coming week. Should we get the clean reversal pattern in this zone and we get the buying opportunities, these will be our various targets that we'll be looking at for AUDCHF. We have here EURCHF, and for EURCHF, we've been waiting for this trade for a long time, and we're expecting price to give us a nice formation around this zone. And currently, price is developing nicely and is forming something like an inverse head and shoulder, just as we want it to do. So we'll wait for price to break this daily structural high, a daily candle to close above, then we get a retest into the zone or a retest onto the neckline, depending on how price breaks above. If price breaks strongly above, it can come for a retest on this structural high and continue to the upside. Or if it breaks slightly, it might just pull back a bit into this zone and then get a buying confirmation to the upside. So if you look at it, you can see we have a left shoulder, a head, and a possible right shoulder forming. So that's what we'll be looking at for EURCHF for the coming week. It can only shift bearish if price breaks below this zone and continues to the downside. And these are various targets for EURCHF. We also have here AUDCAD. So AUDCAD, we are very bullish on AUDCAD. So we going forward, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback or a deeper pullback into this zone for price to give us buying opportunities to buy to the upside. Or if I drop down to the 4-hour time frame, price might just give us a slight pullback here to retest the zone again, give us a possible reversal pattern somewhere around here and continue to the upside. So we're looking forward to this buying opportunities on AUDCAD. it will shift bearish if price breaks below this zone and then keeps tanking to the bottom. So that's when we'll be considering AUDCAD bearish. We have here Brent crude oil or the UK oil. Brent crude oil or UK oil, we're looking forward to this bearishness for a very long time. But looking at how price is developing right now, it looks like price has actually shifted bullish, or price is shifting bullish. So for us to be convinced that price is shifting bullish, we'll wait for a daily candle closure above the zone and a possible retest into the zone. Then we look for buying opportunities to the upside. But if price refuses to break above and we get a reversal pattern here, or we get some confirmations within this zone for price to drop, we will also be looking for it to selling opportunities from this zone as well. So we are very neutral on Brent crude oil for the coming week. So to depend on price action for next week for us to determine whether price is going to go bullish or price is going to come bearish for Brent crude oil. We have here natural gas. So as of last week, we are expecting price to give us a nice head and shoulder formation, which looks like it's actually developing now. So we have left shoulder, we have the head, and it looks like the right shoulder is forming right now. So for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a reversal pattern or some selling confirmations within this zone. We'll be looking forward to some selling confirmations around this zone. Should price give us maybe a double top formation here and gives us a retest, so we'll be interested in taking the sales from here, then take it to the downside if price gives us a clear reversal pattern around that zone. Also, should price break below, come and break below this structural low or this neckline, we'll look forward to a retest of the neckline, look for selling opportunities and continue the sales to the downside for natural gas. So price would shift bullish on a daily perspective if we are able to clear these highs, break this zone, come for retest and continue to the upside. Until then, we still have a bearish sentiment for natural gas for the coming week. We have here US30. So US30, this setup, we're actually looking at this setup from last week, where we're expecting price to pull back to any of these two areas of interest. We're expecting price to pull back to any of these two areas of interest. And price actually came to retest the two zones and give us a structural shift here. So going into next week, we'll be looking forward to a possible C-leg formation, a possible pullback back into this zone, and then look for buying opportunities and continue the buys to the upside to this very target we have here, or whichever harmonic pattern that will develop. We'll look forward to target the potential reversal zone for that harmonic pattern. So for the coming week, we'll look forward to a possible pullback into this very zone again, and then take our buys from here. So on to our last index for the week. We had this German 30. We had this setup from last week where we were expecting price to clear this structural high to give us a possible inverted and shoulder around this area of interest, so we can look forward to buying opportunities to the upside. And as we can see, price is forming nicely. So for the coming week, we'll still be expecting the daily candle break above the structural high, get a slight pullback, then we take our buys from here. Or if price breaks it strongly above, we just wait for a retest to this daily structural high, a retest to this zone, and then look for buy to the upside. This can only shift bearish if price breaks below this zone and then sells to the downside to this very zone below. But until then, I'm very bullish on German 30. So thank you so much for sticking through to the end of this video. I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch. I entreat you, or I encourage you to apply proper risk management to your trades and trade safe and sound. I wish you a profitable and a fruitful week ahead, and I'll catch you on another episode. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.